Testing. Test this.
Probe to study.
Should be working as well. Welcome in. I'm on YouTube. If you want to come on over there, I'm not staying on here long. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Come over to YouTube. YouTubers, let me know when you drop in. Let's make that bigger. We're going to look at the Michael Batista stuff. 3i Atlas. An update with that alien shit. And I can't think what else. Stephen, you're again, Stephen, you are first one in. The first one in. Welcome in, folks. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Christmas Fairy. Anne-Marie. Woodcock, sorry. My bad. I've been really rough last couple of days. I'm never drinking again. Ever again. It's no good for me. I'm not having it. Is that your new autumnal hat, Matt? I was a bit cold, so I thought I'm putting a woolly one on. Fuck it. Hi, Matt, and one and all. Hello, Doris. Welcome. Right, we're going to look at this. We're going to play this a minute while I look at the chat. I'm trying to work out why your chat isn't coming up on Chat Ninja.
I'm seeing things in the sky. And it wasn't until, I was ending my military career, I was on leave.
So this is Michael Batista on News Nation. Where he shows alien beings. Stay with me. Alien beings, people. If you've not seen it, you need to head on over.
That was so slow. So slow.
And after expressing this frustration, I see something very high up in the sky. Like you see like a satellite or something, but it was blue and it was going by overhead and it ejected something out of the back of it. And it had its own like light source. Almost looked like a shooting star got ejected out of the bottom of an orb.
Mike, at this stage, you're holding your phone up, a cell phone, and you're filming what you're seeing, correct?
Yeah, I believe that was shot on a Galaxy.
Okay. What did they say to you about your dog? Tell me that story.
So, again, it was like infant stage of NHI.
Right, TikTok, if you want to watch, come over to YouTube. Thank you. I can't be doing both today. It's too stressful. I just don't understand why they don't listen.
Communication, and I asked them to land, and then I instantly got this thought response back in my brain saying, "We'll land, but only if you put your dog away in the crate." And I was like, "Oh, that's a strange request," because I usually have my dog has seen more aliens than anybody. Okay, he's always with me, and but he's Belgian Shepherd, Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherd mix, and he's.
Oh, they're a very big, fierce dog. They're used by a lot of people in special forces, but they're
Absolutely.
A terrifying animal, aren't they? They're a very fierce
Absolutely.
dog.
So I was like, "All right, sorry, Duke. You have to sit this one out." So I brought him back outside, and then that's when something ejected out of the bottom, and then you could see it slowly, coming down until it just started to get closer and closer, and then, once it got in proximity of me within 100 feet, as it was closing in, it did something to me that affected me.
Homemade apple pie. Apple crumble. Oh, with ice cream. Gimme that shit. I've just had an iced tea. Yeah, I'm a bit quiet. I'm still a bit rough. Like I said, I'm not drinking. Welcome in, Maz.
Me physiologically in a way that almost made me docile or compliant, which I thought was strange. Almost like not a dreamlike state or a trance, but like it was way too casual for me at the time to be seeing that happen.
Well, you're about to have a close encounters of the fifth kind. You're about to meet, allegedly, something non-human. I would be pretty excited and possibly a little bit scared. I can hear your respiration on the video. You're breathing far more quickly than normal, I think.
Right. And so when it was coming down and it finally hits the ground, I'm standing there and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is that? I didn't have a frame of reference, because I hadn't seen something like that yet. So I'm staring it down and it's staring me down. And then there was also a chicken nearby and we're all staring each other down. And it almost looked as
I
surprising.
don't buy this bullshit. I don't know about you. I think we spoke about this the other day when it came out. Bullshit, right? We having this? He wants to speak to me, by the way, Michael Batista on TikTok. Should be interesting, shouldn't it?
To see me
I'm quite friendly, people that speak to me.
as I was it to it. So
Now, Mike, in that freeze and zoom, you see it looks like some kind of translucent white-blue face, but it's not a human face. It's two black dots for eyes. It looks like a sort of a dot for the mouth, and it's a long ovaloid head.
How we doing?
is it on the ground or still in the air at this point? I can't see the video.
I think it's still in the air at this point. It seems to be metamorphosizing out of nothing.
Right. So as it was coming down, it looked like ethereal, like if they're interdimensional, maybe it was still materializing in the third dimension.
It's been debunked.
And as it got closer, I remember it started morphing like this and pulled one of these, and it was shape shifting into all these different things. I don't know what they were. You have to take a closer look at it until it turned into something that you would see on a petroglyph.
Good question.
Right.
Good question, Doris. Why the dog away, but they're happy for a chicken? Chickens are horrible. Bark, 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 bark. You don't want that fucking thing coming at you, do you?
I want to stop you there for a moment. It looks almost like it's got wings. You see the head?
Maybe it's because imagine if it was like first contact and the first thing that happened was the dog jumped on the alien and started mounting its leg.
And then you see
scarring it'd give you.
Bluey white protuberances out to each side.
It came down as it looked like a cube with something sticking out the top, and then it started morphing into certain things. Then it turned into something you'd see on a petroglyph, and then after that, I saw a humanoid-looking form of it, and he was like wearing a skin-tight metallic purple suit, greenish, grayish, bluish skin. It was nighttime in the camera, and then after that, that's when it appeared as what you're talking about. And in the video, like when I was seeing it in person for the first time, I was like, oh, that kind of looked like an angel to me, because it kind of had like the wings like this and then like a light emanating at the top, like a halo. But as it got closer, it wasn't that, stereotypical, image of an angel you get, when you think of the Bible. It was a solid craft that was lit up in that way.
At this point, is whatever the object is, entity, object, whatever you want to call it, is it telepathically communicating with you?
So at this point, I was in that docile mind frame, and I don't think that it was. I think it was induced almost, because like once it actually hit the ground and I saw how big it was no bigger than 3.5 feet, and it probably didn't want me to come closer. Like Ross, if something landed right here next to me now, I'd probably be more inclined to walk up to it and see what that's about. But that wasn't a thing, and the fact that I was even able to reach for my phone, I was fighting it. And some of those shots are very shaky. I actually had reached for both phones, and I was trying to see which one looked better, but it wasn't. It was just so surreal that it's hard to describe and replicate unless you're in that position.
But what certainly what I'm seeing, and I think what you say you saw, you see some kind of what looks like a being. It's got an ovoid head, small eyes, a mouth. What would it be
And it had like
fair to
football
say?
head.
Do you think it would be fair to say that it looks like an insect,
Well,
like a praying mantis?
I saw a lot of things that night. That the photo I think you're talking about. If you see the purple, if that's the one, that to me looked like a gray because it was so small. But as the experience progressed, it started to.
What do you think, peeps? In the comments, been a bit quiet here. What do you think? You think he's talking shit? I think he's talking shit. Let me go. By the way, I'm only like 20 odd people away, I think, from like 7,000 followers. So if you don't follow me, or I'm just going to block you. It's a milestone, innit? 7,000.
Look at this. Just look. A
38
visit come out 2
minutes.
years earlier. Plumbers would have been out of the job.
Can someone tell me if he's still there? Because I can't see anything.
I saw more than one entity that night, and I did see something that looked like an insect for sure, like a praying mantis.
I'm watching this on real time, and you need to go frame by frame. But what you can see is it kind of
Are you
moves
going to try
between
and
looking
interview him,
like.
Matt? I'm going to try and talk to him. I'm going to try my best to be sober, and that's probably going to help. I'm going to end up having a drink while I speak to him because I'm struggling to buy this. I'm struggling to buy that. I'm struggling to buy like News Nation sold this as being compelling. Like, it's not compelling. It's not compelling at all. Me bent over with my ass out is more compelling than that. More alien entities on my arsehole than in this image.
Like an insect, like with that ovaloid football-shaped head. And then it's like the classic grey head, like the Whitley Strieber Communion book with the round, bulbous head. And you can see why it looks like an angel, because you see what looked like wings coming out from the side of it. It's quite extraordinary.
He mentally froze when Ross asked, "Did you communicate telepathically?" Because you got to think about the next line. Like, shit, what have I got to say here? There's a chicken, and we had like this standoff, and then I got two phones, because everybody has two phones in them, and they're usually like millions of years apart from each other, so I was trying to see which one had different cameras on. Talking shit.
Yeah,
He's sat on his veranda when he's fucking 80 years old, talking shit. I was on News Nation once, talking shit.
That was
His pics are bad, yeah.
something that
He's got a rifle on the side of his fucking head, for fuck's sake. He's got a rifle on his head, right here. He's got a rifle on his head. Imagine that. What do you want? Thinking about having an AK-47. Where? Here. Sounds a good place. Yeah.
took time to actually cope with after the fact. Like what just happened to me.
Are you scared? Are you scared at this point, Mike?
He's not scared. He's got a rifle on the side of his head.
Is there any apprehension in you at this time?
No, there was none. It was strangely casual. It was too calm. It was very familiar though. Very familiar feeling.
Do you think you'd had this experience before but forgotten about it?
No, that's unforgettable.
No, but when you say it was familiar, what do you mean?
Just like, even like say if you're in a room and someone you don't know walks in, like, you know, it's not a familiar feeling, like there's that vibe there, you know, that's something you feel. Like when it was coming down, it was such a spectacle, and I knew that was for me. Like I don't.
Do you not buy it, Francesco? Are you like, he's talking shit? Don't be scared to say that's my favourite thing, talking bullshit, bollocks, or shit, or fuck. Those are my favourite words.
I think it was just saying hello because it was in the neighborhood.
That's usually a thing when you're lying. So like, because your eyebrows are important. So when you're talking, if you go up to someone and say, do you know where the toilets are? They'll be like, yeah, they're over there. But if you go up to someone and say, do you know where the toilets are? It's going to look a bit weird, right? They're going to say, or if you say, is that your daughter? And they'll be like, yeah. And you go up to someone and go, is that your daughter? Totally different. Eyebrows make a difference. You got to remember that. You can't go up to someone and say weird things with your eyebrows down. It just looks more sinister. It's a fact.
Like a thing came down for me, and it was, you know, it was a.
Have you tried DMT? You might really want to, but no idea where you could get it. I want to try DMT. I want it right now. If there was a line of it now, I would snort it, and then I'm done. I'll be there, me, dancing with these elves. They would have wind me up. Because you imagine me going into there. Imagine I take DMT and they go, we've got Matt in our realm. And then I get there and the shit. We've got Matt in our realm. What does that mean? He's going to fuck us up. He's going to take piss out of us. He's going to rip the shit out of us. You don't want me in that realm. You can definitely pause his footage and see faces, but I don't know. I don't see any faces. I don't see any faces at all.
It was a special experience, but again, like, it wasn't like a paralysis feeling. It wasn't fear. There was excitement too, but it was like, at first it was just that shock factor. I was like, what is that? You know,
Looking at him with the eyebrows, what is that? You know, he's probably a really nice guy. I've got nothing against him personally. Some people just have to make lies up sometimes just to make themselves feel good and fit in and things like that. Yeah, I used to do it when I was a kid. I used to lie about bullshit. My dad's 7'8". I used to go to school and say, my dad's 7'8", you know, like, just bullshit stuff, talking absolute bullshit, you know what I mean, Matt? Anything you can think of, I had bullshit about when I was really young in primary school, and we all did it. And you look back now and you think, like, some people just don't grow out of it and they carry on doing it.
What is it?
No, I just want to explain to our audience, you had been in Utah shortly before you did the processing on this video. I mean, obviously this video was recorded in 2023, but you've been working with a lovely fellow, a fellow Viking, Carl Andreasen, Carl Crusher on YouTube. Recommend his shows, by the way. He's done a lot of work on indigenous petroglyphs. Now, what's fascinating to me, tell me the story about the petroglyph that you saw you see a shape that is whatever this creature has.
Come on. This is Roblox or something like that. So we see the crucifix. There's like a crucifix there, and he's got like his little knee up. It's like his little leg, like a little sailor. He's got a sailor. So he's a little sailor now, and he's got a little shield in front of him because he's going to need a shield in the middle of nowhere, and he's going to have his little. Seriously, we're having this conversation. These two men having that conversation. If I was Ross, I'd be like, so what am I looking at here, Mike? Yeah. Have you been tested for having any substances in your body? Because I think you might have just taken some spice and you've had some fucking weird reaction to it. This is bullshit.
Morphed into.
Pixels make patterns. They do make patterns. Stupid patterns.
And it is
I smell crap. I see
uncanny because it looks like.
Look at that. And now they're trying to say, oh, look, it looks like. That looks like me with this hat on. That looks like me with this hat on. If I put that down now, that's me.
The petroglyph that you've seen.
If I go and get my silver chain, that's me. If I skip leg day, that's me.
Me a picture of that you and Carl Crusher had seen only a few weeks ago.
If anybody's going to mock this topic, I might as well mock it.
Yeah, during that experience, like one thought I did have was,
this is why I'm drinking again.
It's turning into all these things. Like, okay, if I'm just, compared to something that's hyper intelligent, I'm a dumb human. Hopefully it's showing me something in a specific sequence so I can understand. And one of the things it turned into was something you'd see on the petroglyphs all over the world. And it's, they're very rigid bodies. They come in like this, and it was holding a shield, and like it looked like something else in its hand too. But you see them all over the place. But the petroglyphs we visited in Utah, they had spirals in them, like a spiral. And Carl was telling me that different directions of spirals mean one thing or the other, like going forward in time or back. And when it created that image of that you would see, it's almost like obviously they saw that too, and then took enough time to.
Bit of an update. Someone messaged me today, like serious this, in the UK. A radio station offered me a job, or to reach out to them if I would like to do radio station work because of my TikTok channel.
Into rock, something else came out of it, like it opened up a portal, to be like in the third dimension. It was physical after that. It wasn't like a plasma or still manifesting. It was physical after that.
So forgive me, it's a petroglyph, isn't it? That's the correct terminology.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I made the mistake.
You have to smoke it. How far are you from Wales? As I know a man that sells it there. It's always... I'm quite far from Wales. An hour and a half. Something depends which Wales. North Wales I'm close to. South Wales, like a couple of hours. Go for it. Well, yeah, but I don't want to be like, oh, welcome, top 10 at 10, here we go, a bit of Ed Sheeran. I don't want that. I'd rather be like, I don't know, a 2-hour window at night where people ring in and tell me their stories. That like a James Stanich or like a Coast to Coast. I'd do that in the UK. Give me that job right now. I'll do that. And I'll stream it through TikTok when I'm live, like the other radio presenters do. I think that's why someone's reached out to me, because I was following a lot of radio presenters, and I think some of them have followed me back, and some of them have started watching some of my videos, and probably, I don't know, maybe even speaking about it on the radio, I don't know. I know Chris Miles followed me for a bit.
Earlier, it was my mistake. So is the correct term petroglyph to describe this rock art?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so in that petroglyph, is he holding what looks like a shield?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can be interpreted different ways depending on...
Could be interpreted as a shield, or it could just be interpreted as a light, and there's probably things blocking it, and it's just that shape. It's just so bullshit.
Who's making those petroglyphs, but they're all consistent. They're all holding something, and they usually have a spiral on it. I didn't see the spiral in the footage that I have, and I'm not a master editor either.
Midnight Caller.
But it's
the Midnight Caller. Who's the Midnight Caller? I'd call it UFOs around the world. That's what I'd call it. Forget what they said. All right, this is the name. No, it's this name. I'm not doing it. And I want a disclaimer that I can say whatever the fuck I want in those 2 hours. I'm not being dragged off air after 5 minutes because I've said something and offended someone.
Seems to be connected to a portal or moving forward and back.
You got the face for radio. Thank you. Thank you. It means so much to me, that Maz.
In time.
So this is really cool. So you're looking at a petroglyph on a rock face in Utah just a few weeks ago with Carl Crusher, Carl Andreasen. And
been there, done that.
It appears in the 2023 imagery to have displayed something that is uncannily similar to that petroglyph.
It's not uncannily similar. It's the same. It is the same thing.
And when you saw a few weeks ago that petroglyph, did anything anomalous happen while you were there with Carl?
So during the day when we went to visit, I'm not sure of the picture, but the one where I'm looking up at it, nothing happened at that moment. But we went out to the Anasazi Trail, which has more petroglyphs like that. And as soon as we got there, it's like they opened up the welcoming mat. We had this giant white orb that just like welcomed us. It just appeared as soon as we got there, and we got in a video, and you see it just going up out into space. And we're like, oh wow, that's cool. We didn't even have to hike up that far. All right, let's go home. No, so we kept going, and he showed me all these spots that he frequents, and they're special to him. And he showed me this place that he calls the shaman seat, and there's a whole series of petroglyphs there. The shaman seat's like carved out rock where like a shaman would do his initiations and sit there, and you're looking at these rocks and they're telling a story of the, like, I guess it's the birth of the universe and life and creation, but it's these beings that are like walking through one portal and the rocks up here, and it's coming out of another portal down here, and it's the same stuff that we're seeing in the video.
Now, what really blows me away here is the implication that the entity was reminding you, potentially, when you filmed that video in 2023, do you think there's a connection between the video that you filmed in 2023, which we've just shown here, of what looks like a humanoid figure holding what might be some kind of shield or some kind of object? Do you think it was trying to flag to you when you were looking at the petroglyphs just a few weeks ago that that's the same thing?
Well, since I saw that, during the experience, I've been chasing.
Sorry, I missed the comments. It was a TV program in the 90s, the Midnight Caller. I don't remember it. I remember James Stanich, the Manchester guy, obviously coast to coast, but there's no one in the UK that does the UFO thing, and maybe that's what they wanted to offer me, a thingy like that. I'd take that, but if it's just about radio presenting and fucking talking about me, I'm not interested in music. I want to listen to music. I can't do that. Or could I? I don't know. I just know I want a 2-hour window, or a 4-hour window, or an 8-hour window. I'll do 8 hours of it, mate, if there's enough people ringing, but it has to be around the world. It has to be like a worldwide thing. They can't just do it in the UK. It has to be worldwide, and I'll do it. And I'll sit there, and I'll get people in, and we'll make it all eerie and dark, get guests in, right, so you was beamed up and you was what? You was wheelbarrowed around the UFO. Yeah, I believe you. I 100% believe you. Like, can you show me where they wheelbarrowed it? It would be enthralling. It would be... I'd be kicked off air probably in the first hour. But yeah, sorry, we have to let you go.
That, and that led me looking for petroglyphs. And it wasn't until I met up with Carl and he showed me the ones out in Utah that are really like, look, those are the ones. Like I've seen similar ones because they always have the arms and they're like this, but these ones were so spot on and they had the shield, and I knew that they were trying.
What one offered you the job couldn't swear on it, as it could cost them their license. Plus, you'd be surprised just how much the government tells stations what it is. It's quite a well-known one. Well, I think it's that one because that was the person that messaged me is an agent for that one. So, but I haven't really thought about it. I'll probably message him when I'm pissed. Like, hey, go on, I'm ready. What do you want to tell me? And he'll be like, what do I offer you this slot between time? Because you can work from home as well, With the radio things, you have to turn into these places. You can have your own studio at home and do it. A lot of these people like set their own studios up at home and they do all the stuff at home. But it's on the radio. Now, I would like to go somewhere and do it, though, not just do it in my home. I like to get out of the house. But it's interesting. See what they say. I was too tired to message today. I just said I'll get back to you.
Kind of tell me something, and that kind of led me on that journey,
You'd be awesome at it. Yes, some people are saying I would be awesome at it. I don't know, though. I'd only be awesome at it if it's something I'm passionate about or I know about.
And
if it's radio stuff, it'll just be Bon Jovi on replay. Like, yeah, it's my life, living on a prayer, put some orchestral things on. It'd be like, yeah, just basically playing the music I like. I don't give a shit what you want to listen to. I'm playing my music. With radio, you keep playing Bon Jovi over and over because I want to listen to that. It's my job. I'll do what I want.
It sounds like we're unlocking mysteries through this ancient art.
So it gets weirder.
Why I ask is my dad owns 2 now, but it used to be 4 before he sold 2. I'll be honest with you, Aiden, I think I'd be better than your dad after 5 minutes. And I'll buy your dad out, and I'll buy his radio stations and turn him into UFO channels. That's what I'm going to do, Aiden.
Guys.
Yes, Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. See, women like Bon Jovi. It's the guys, isn't it? That like when I say, "Hey, you like Bon Jovi?" It's like, well, and what? And what?
Stick with
you can't go wrong with the initials BJ.
Me here. I mean, I know we're talking here about Magic Mike communicating with a non-human intelligence that's actually pointing out petroglyphs to him in Utah.
I'm just having a laugh with you there, Aiden. Don't be like filing a lawsuit and stuff like that.
To remind him of what he'd seen in 2023. But it gets even weirder.
That just reminded me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, that it kind of had like a eureka moment at that time. Like, it wasn't until I visited those like exact ones that looked the most similar and sat in that shaman seat that, like, you know, days later, I'm going through old footage that I've looked over, you know, overlooked, excuse me, until we kind of like really did a deep dive on this one. And then the timing is impeccable for this. So just the discovery to where we are now, to talking to you.
Mike, what you see is it's a white platform of some kind, and there is what looks like a squatting humanoid figure. Looks like they've got their knees in a squat and their back is curved, and it's the classic large ovaloid head, and it's side profile looking out from left to right. Did you see that with your own eyes at the time? Were you actually perceiving this as an entity sitting on some kind of a platform as you're filming this?
So the entity was sitting there, and the thing that caught my attention immediately was there was something poking its head out from behind it, looking at me. That was smaller than the grayish whitish thing you're talking about.
Oh yeah, you see it. It's literally
You
the
zoom
next
in,
frame. Yeah, 3 minutes 55. Yeah, so it's peeking around that person.
There was multiple beings there that night, and some of them, like, there was just changing. There's so much change. Like, it's like looking into a portal. Like, you'd have this one being looking a certain way, and then like it would just completely change. In like it would almost look like it would be on a craft that it changed. Like, everything was just so strange.
I don't see that at all.
Okay, so I promise you guys, it gets even stranger. Now, this is where I gasped. As you probably know, Mike, I went to Egypt with friends last year, and I saw a lot of carved granite Egyptian statues. And the image we're looking at now it looks uncannily, I call it the Egyptian. It's uncanny. It's a bluey, purpley white object, entity. There appears to be an arm extended, its right arm. It's looking towards the camera. It seems to be sitting on a platform of some kind. Can you talk me through what you're seeing at the time?
It's hard with the video not in front of me. So you said the arms extended, is sending it out and touching something. So it looked like there was. It's hard to say because to me it looked like a skull. It looked like it was holding a skull out in its hand, you know. And that reminds me, like, because the petroglyphs out in Utah we just saw, those same ones were holding heads, like they're calling it the headhunters. And I was like, well, maybe it's like an interface and it's like touching something, you know, like we would. But it seems like it was a being, and then it grabbed onto something. But then later on in the video, it almost looks like that centerpiece stays consistent, and it's like almost like a portal, and things are coming in and out of it.
So I'm just stepping forward very quickly because there is just a most breathtaking moment. It's uncanny, Mike. It's the moment where I think irrefutably there is an image of what looks like a humanoid head, but it's not human. It's alien. It's got a long neck, a football ovaloid head,
alien.
Dots for
alien?
Eyes, black dots for eyes, a black dot
Is
for
that
a
an
mouth.
alien?
Talk me through did you see this at the time?
Is that the one that looks like he's leaning up against something? He's sitting up against it?
It's literally all you're seeing is a
It is, Mark,
translucent white, blue object showing looks like a mantis being or I don't know what it is, but essentially
right. And those things were only
like
it happened so quick, and I saw so many different beings. Like the mantis being was one. I saw something look like a gray, and then actually, if you look above the white ethereal guy crouching, there's like this bluish. It almost looks like a mask or a face that's been. There was like another taller entity that was, you know, behind. Like, there was so much going on there, and you could see in the video, like every 10 to 15 frames, it changes into a new being in a whole new like setting and environment in that little area.
Yeah, it's almost like it was showing you everybody there, saying, "Hi, this
Yeah,
is me.
yeah,
Here's another guy." I mean, within a second, there are multiple entities, but there's a kind of a bluey green humanoid creature that seems to be looking down, and it's tilting its head slightly. And it's indubitably looks like the top part of a torso that's not human, and it's an
yeah.
ovaloid football head. It's extraordinary.
You probably notice everywhere that every single dog food is brown. Question is, why is it brown?
Yep, and there's actually a frame where it looks like it has, you know, the typical mantis arms as well. In one of the, you can see it, that's right before it extends its hands out. And looks like it grabs onto like a skull. Like you can see, you know, it looks like the mantis arms. And it was just, it felt like I was looking into like a portal, you know, like it was everything at once, and it was definitely one of the most profound.
Is it people having problems liking it or something and stuff like that? Like, I've not got any TikTok on, so I can't be asked just telling TikTok a million times to come over here and then just stare at the screen like that. So it is what it is tonight. People are in. It'll be left up there and people can come and watch it another time, can't they? I just need to start going solo more on YouTube using it. And stop using TikTok as much. TikTok's really winding me up at the minute. Fine for me. Those pics can be interpreted different by many people. It can be. It's interpreted as bullshit by me. But to these two, it's I wonder why it's not letting me, and I'm on YouTube. You will be on YouTube. That's the only platform I'm streaming on. What do you mean not like it? Can you not like click the like? You sometimes just got to double tap on it. Like double tap on the actual screen. That's how you think it. After the live, when it goes up, then you can comment again, which helps as well. So if you used to come out the live, when the live comes in, like just drop a comment in there, because that's a separate comment. You've got the in chat comment when it's live, like now, and then when it uploads, you have a separate comment section. So if you could drop a comment in there as well, that does help the videos and stuff like that. I do appreciate it. And I send Christmas cards out to people and gifts and stuff like that if you do things like that to me. Okay.
Experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And
how far away is this showing itself to you, Mike?
it was no more than 50 feet away.
50 feet. And
It was
can I
very
ask,
small.
I know a lot of people are going to ask me this. All the dog lovers are going to ask me this. Your dog's presumably chained up somewhere. Is your dog reacting to what's happening?
No, so I was out like about 200 yards from where he was.
Can anyone
150
else
yards, 200
actually
yards, and
tap
he was in
and
his
like the
crate.
screen? Can you let me know,
one of those
please?
impact crates, the really nice ones. You know, he's real comfortable in there. But yeah, no, I didn't hear any barking or anything like that. But I did get that message. You know, lock up your dog, or we're not coming down there.
I love the idea that a highly advanced alien species is terrified of Belgian Malinois, because I am as well.
I mean, who isn't? Who isn't? Let's do it.
So I'm just scrolling through. It's gone from a blue mist at times. It looks like it was almost recalibrating itself. It goes to a blue mist and then it goes back into what looks like an alien.
It made the figures
Let's fast
pop.
forward a little bit.
And,
Cause I'm
you're able
spending
to
the night
really
just on this
see, but it wasn't in.
This is a bit different. This part,
I
yeah.
presume that's some kind of platform that they were sitting on. And you see what looks like two heads. Can you talk me through what we're seeing?
Right. So it looked like,
Thank you to the
if
people
the
watching.
safety
that,
craft
by the way.
maybe was shaped like an
People
egg,
watching
for example, like
sat there
it
like
opened up like
perverts
this,
in a bush.
and there was two
Thank you
beings
as well,
there.
but you're a bit
There's
weird.
one in the middle, and then another one in
I
the.
just want to say you're a bit weird. If you sat there, you're not commented, you're not liked or anything. You just sat there like a pervert in the bush. You're a bit weird. You need to let yourself know right now.
They were moving around a little bit, and
speaking
that's
of
when, you know,
perverts in the bush, here comes Melissa. Welcome in, Melissa. You're either late or you just come out of the bushes.
you could see like the mantis arms at some point reaching out for the skull. And sorry, I mistake earlier in the, we were talking about the first video. I mixed it up with the second video. So But yeah, this is where he reaches his arm out, and it looks like he's holding the skull.
Okay, let me go to that. Let me go to that very quickly so that we can talk through it. I need to guide the editor. I mean, ultimately, all the way through this, it looks like it's phase shifting. What do you think is going on? Do you think...
I have figured out as well how to get your comments on the big screen, like so I can highlight them, but it's not working at the minute. It's this Ninja app that I'm trying to use. So I'm trying to figure that out at the same time as doing it live. So hopefully I can get it on the big screen. So if you comment something I like it, I can put it on the big screen for you, to make it a bit more engaging for you all.
I think these creatures are coming interdimensionally. I mean, I'm not aware of what you're being told telepathically, but are you being given any clues as to what's happening here, as to where they're coming from? Because it looks to me like this.
The fella, how are we doing?
I think it's telling me a story. Like, it was trying to show me so much at once, almost like, it showed me in the last video things in a specific order, which led me down this path that, to find, those carved in stone. I think it's similar here. And I was up till 4 a.m. dealing with that video. I was texting you at 3 a.m. that video, and it would change into other entities. Like, it would stay like those two figures would stay there, like in the same relative area, but they would change into different beings. There's actually one that it changes into that looks like it's wearing like one of the Egyptian headdresses, and I can't even count the number of beings that I thought I saw in that video alone. Like, there would be like after every 10, 15 frames, if you slow it down, it changes to a new being, and then like a whole new landscape or craft around it. Like, it, you have to see for yourself, viewers. It's hard to describe. The feeling you get when you see it up close. It's just.
And so you're still in this slightly soporific state. Whatever it's done to you, you're being allowed to film, but it's obviously calmed you in some way. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've mellowed out in my years. It used to be a little wild one, but in regards to this stuff, from the beginning, I've always got the message that they wanted to be filmed, and they were almost looking at the time for maybe prospects that were maybe good representatives or maybe an ambassador role that they were trying to build rapport with and vet to allow themselves to get closer to me and allow me to get the footage. Because I would always, every time I go out and do one of these star parties, we call them, or contact events, we always kind of try to end the night with like a grand finale, and they usually just put on like this big aerial show goodbye. And I think that, I think every human has the innate ability to communicate with, these beings. And I don't think I'm maybe even the best guy for the job. Maybe I was the right guy for the job.
Are you drinking a bottle of Bud, Matt? No, I'm not drinking a bottle of Bud. This is Bière Moretti. Just a small bottle.
Yeah, because it's just right place, right time, and I took the interest, and I spent almost a year straight, under the stars filming these things when it first started happening.
If you want to sponsor
there's a
me,
moment on the initiation video, and it looks like the entity, whatever it is, it's sitting in some kind of platform, but there's a kind of a glowing rectangular.
Posh. Is it posh? It's not posh. It's like 3 for £6.50. 3 bottles do me that. That'll just do me that nicely. Don't know. I just like to drink and stream. People like to drink and drive. I like to drink and stream.
A screen.
I don't know which is dangerous, to be honest with you. People drinking and driving, or me drinking and streaming. Poof.
Tilted at an angle, and it appears to be peeking from around that screen. What do you think that is? Can you talk me through what we're looking at?
Right. So, like earlier in the video, I mentioned it looked like that mantis was grabbing something by the head, right? But that figure in the middle stayed consistent throughout the video, and it almost like it was a portal, and things were poking his head in and out of it, you know, and
You've got the
like
monthly
poke me around
membership
it, and
picture.
it always
Doris.
stayed
You got the special
like
picture
in the middle. And no matter how many times the craft or environment changed or shifted, shape shifted,
I'm adding
like
some
that
more
middle
stuff
piece
this
would.
week. Membership stuff, get some merchandise going and stuff like that for people. Just falling behind. You know what? I've just got really lazy with it with my YouTube. I've not given up. It's just that I don't want to do it every day. I don't want it to take over my life. So it's probably like 2 videos a week and a live. 2 videos and a live a week. I think that's good. That's 3 videos sort of. More potentially because you'll see me on TikTok and stuff like that. So I'm going to mix it up and do TikTok and YouTube. But this one I want to try and keep it focused on certain things, and I do it a certain way. And we have a laugh as well still on the way.
Would always like be glowing or like, you know, like an interface or some sort of portal, like, and you know, you're always seeing things peeking out from behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was trying to find in the quick run through on the video, I was trying to
This
find
makes me
the
fucking
moment
piss
when the
myself,
mantis
swear to
holds
God,
up
I'm
the
not even at
head.
the age to
You can
piss
see he
myself.
has 3 fingers.
Look at this.
And he's clearly grasping something. And the
Okay, so it's got you doing an audio through it, Mike. So I'm just going to play that through its entirety, and then I'll get you to talk through it afterwards.
There's a mantis.
It's like a South African tribe. Well, cause that's how I imagine South Africa to be. It's like tribal, like that.
Like the headhunter's a legend.
Look, like his head's
Has a
just come
freaking
off.
head in his hand. This
I
is
want
it
a
right
beanie
here.
hat.
Keeps turning into all this stuff. It's like telling a story.
I want a beanie and t-shirt. Hopefully you'll get some merchandise soon. The cups are pretty good. I did one. There was one style of cup we did. There's only one cup we've ever done, which is gone now. I give it away. And t-shirts I've done, hats we've done, but they're mine. Like they're nobody else's. So I've not actually done any for anybody else yet. So the cups will be coming, and it'll be with the new logo, the old logo. There'll be 3 different logos.
You slow it down, you can really see what's going on. Go back again. Go frame by frame.
Can't wear a cup. And I want to keep it reasonably priced as well. I know like you go on a few channels and they're like 30, 40 fucking quid for nothing. Like I'm not charging people that. I'm not charging people. I wouldn't pay that. So what I'll have to do is make the margin of profit low. It's just finding the right way to do it and having the time to do it.
Right now. What was that?
What do you see? I mean, it looks to me like there's one guy sitting on the left in some kind of platform, and
if I get to like 100,000 subscribers on like YouTube and I have like 300,000 TikTok, so I might try and go full time doing it. But at the minute, I'm nowhere near doing it full time. But I think it'll ruin it for me if I go full time because then I'll be chasing the money and stuff like that, and I really don't want to be doing that. It's alright saying I want the truth, but if it's a full time job, every video's got to be on point for people to be interested, right? This is why I really struggle with the people that say they're doing it full time. They ruin it for themselves. They're going to end up thinking, shit, I need to do this video and I can't say this because if I get demonetized, I can't pay me rent. I don't want to be in that situation. I'd rather just go to work and do this as... And I'll tell you what, I'm doing well. Just doing it that is. I've got an abundant amount of followers working full time. So maybe that's the way to do it. Be passionate about it and not worry about it being financially... worrying about it financially, if you know what I mean.
And then there's another creature or entity sitting in the middle, and it looks
Right.
like a different being.
So the creature on the left, if you're going through the video, it looks like it has the mantis arms and it's green. And then you can see it turn like this next frame over and grab something that to me looked like a skull, like in whether it was or not, I don't know. But
And that's
That
at 39 seconds. 39 seconds into that video with what
It does look like a South African tribal dance, doesn't it? Going on. You just expect Ace Ventura to pop his head up here.
looks like it would be its left arm. It's holding up it looks like a skull.
Right. And if it was a portal, maybe that was like a thing that opens up the portal, like an interface or something. Because no matter how many times, like you see later on in the video, it looks like other crafts are there that they morph into. That piece in the middle, that interface or that portal, whatever that was, stays consistent. So maybe he was pulling something out or putting something in. I don't know, but it did look like there was two humanoids, and then he grabbed the head, and then next frame it's there's always humanoids there. They're just or beings there, but they're just looking different than they did previous frames.
I mean, it's pretty freaky. I mean, are you nervous at this point, or are you still in that slightly docile state that they'd put you into?
I've only been slightly nervous. I'll say slightly because I don't get nervous easy when doing these contact events, and I don't think that it was alien. I think that it was something closer to home, but it exhibited the same characteristics as something we would consider alien.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore.
And it works?
Oh, like he would.
So, as I'm looking at this, we're now at one.
I'm done with this guy now. Right, I've spent too much time on that one. Some 50 odd minutes on that. I wanted to show. People were asking me about Free Eye Atlas, and people was asking me about the Area 51 stuff, right? So the Area 51 image, people, I need to make this clear to people. You message me sometimes, and you'll say, I've not heard you speak about this, or I've not heard you speak about this. A lot of the times I know about it, and I don't speak about it. I'm not one of them that, I have to be the first to it. If I'm the first to it, it's because it's something compelling, and I think I'm going to be right on it. Don't get me wrong, I've tried to be first on things in the past, and I've had my fingers burnt because it turns out to be bullshit, and this was one thing that I was quite confident would turn out to be bullshit, and it looks like it is. So we'll play this here.
Hill hearing putting the government's handling of unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, under the microscope yet again. Lawmakers recently heard from military veterans, whistleblowers, and oversight experts, all warning that secrecy and retaliation have undermined public trust. At the center of all of it, people describing bizarre encounters with objects that outperformed any known aircraft.
Someone would see a light. They would pay attention to the light. And then the object responds, it performs for you. And then they come down and they investigate you. So it's almost like they're curious.
The craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold, lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft.
And for the first time, lawmakers screened video of a high-speed orb. You can see it at the center of your screen. This was captured almost a year ago off the coast of Yemen. And almost unbelievably, the UAP is...
Yeah, mate, you're right. It's the YouTube algorithm that cripples content creators by having to put videos out constantly. There is a thingy which you can boost people's video. I can't remember what it's called. You can boost people's videos now. So when it's uploaded, you can click on it. It's called... I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can see it here. So we click on that. It's called, I fucking can't remember what it's called. Like a boost button, and you can boost people's videos. That's for new content creators and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, I'm doing okay. I'm not panicking yet. I'm not far off hitting 7,000 people. Sometimes people take years and years to get that. And I've managed to do that in about 6 months, 7 months, so it's not too bad. And I'm hoping when I put my full time into it, we'll be able to do a lot more. But I'll have to use my YouTube and TikTok and shit to drag people over. But it's right, I'm not panicking. It's a hobby, remember, it's not a job, so I'm not panicking.
It's hit by a Hellfire missile, but the unknown object is somehow able to keep going. For more on this and what is next, we are joined by News Nation's special correspondent and investigative journalist Ross.
That's a massive thing. Like, just hype my videos. Use your entire thing on one video, or mix it between 3 of my videos. Just help the channel out.
Cold heart. Ross, always so good to see you. Thank you for taking the time as always. And let's start with the video. A legendary UFO journalist, George Knapp, had this to say about it at the hearing. Let's take a listen.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Ross, what is your assessment of this footage?
Good evening, Natasha. Well, I can tell you it does raise questions as to whether it is an anomalous object. The debunkers have been trying to suggest that it's just a balloon, but that doesn't wash. They've been trying to suggest it's just a hooty drone, but that doesn't wash either. I think George has got a point. Frankly, we know there's more footage beyond that footage, which would allow us, I think, to conclude one way or the other whether the object's anomalous. It's part of a huge range of imagery, video and stills that are still held by the Pentagon and by the intelligence community. And we know President Trump made a pledge to be more open and transparent about UAPs throughout the election campaign and indeed post his election. And so far, sadly, Congress is walking back from that pledge. We're looking for the president to make a move, but at the moment, Congress has apparently abandoned, or is looking likely to abandon for the third year running, efforts to bring in UAP disclosure laws that would allow the declassification of these kind of images.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And this is yet another very public hearing surrounding the mysteries in our skies. What is coming out of this? What is happening now? Do you feel that this is a turning point, or do we just keep hitting that wall over and over again?
Certainly, I don't think we're going to see in the current mood of Congress any disclosure from Congress. Frankly, the key politicians...
Hype can only be done on mobile phones and not laptops and PCs. Mic on mute. Cheers, Bella the fella. Was I trying to talk again and I had it on mute? I fucking do that all the time. Hype can only be done on mobile. Yeah, so maybe just do it on your mobile then. Go to my videos and hype it. Why is it like I've got a fucking earring? When I put my head there, it looks like I've got an earring, doesn't it, there? I look like a proper emo earring thing there. With it. Looks like I've got an earring in. Maybe I should get an earring. I actually suit that. See that? I don't like needles. They go through me.
In the key
although I've got tattoos.
Committees have been nobbled. Whoever it is that's trying to control them, some people have named Senator Roger Wicker, other people name more senior people in the party. It does appear that someone is intervening from a very high level in government to stop UAP disclosure. And it's interesting because the president made a promise.
Right, so if you go to oh, you know what? I don't even know. I think it has to be uploaded or something, the video. Like, I don't even know myself. I don't know.
During the election campaign that he would try to be more open about the disclosure of UAP imagery and information. That was a flat promise he's made on multiple occasions. At the moment, that promise is not being fulfilled, and it's quite clear that the legislation we've been promised is again being nobbled.
Okay, and another topic, Ross, I want to ask you about a UFO headline gaining a lot of traction this week surrounding the National Archives recently posting a nearly 22-minute video of the Roswell incident. And this is a photo, this is an image people are just going crazy about. Some say that it shows UFO debris and alien bodies. Ross, what are we looking at here, and what is your take on this?
Somebody's having a bit of
That's alcohol ASMR. Help yourself. You gotta listen to me drink this now.
fun, I'm afraid, Natasha. This happens all too often. That is a photograph from a debunking book that was written by the US Air Force in the mid-1980s, Fact or Fiction, the Roswell UFO crash. It's not UFO vision from the Roswell crash of 1947. There is no known archival vision that has ever been released of the alleged Roswell UFO crash, if indeed it was one, which I strongly suspect it was. Sadly, I'm sorry, somebody's just having a bit of a fun game with this image. It's a still photograph taken from a US Air Force publication.
I appreciate you helping us separate fact from fiction, as always. Investigative journalist and News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthard. And of course, you can watch Reality Check, his podcast. We encourage you to do so. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
So it's from a debunking book called Fact or Fiction, I think you said it was called. I have actually looked at it. It is right. It is from that book, Fact or Fiction. So it's bullshit. So all those people that were saying, "Oh, this is an alien, and this is a UFO, and this is the crash site," obviously. Oh, really? See how deep that fucking is, by the way. People were asking me about. Should we do the AV lobe on this one here?
The object. What are the measurements or data?
This was today, by the way, so it's new.
That you would need returned in order to determine whether the object is natural or potentially artificial.
So on October 3rd, 3i Atlas will pass within 29 million kilometers from Mars. And we have several orbiters around Mars. One of them is the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter that NASA launched. And it has a camera with a 0.5 meter diameter that can resolve 3i Atlas with a 30 kilometer per pixel. And that would help us a lot, because currently the estimate for the maximum size of the nucleus is somewhere between 20 and 46 kilometers. The 46 kilometers was obtained based on the reflectance of sunlight, solar radiation, at 1 micrometer wavelength. And such a big object would actually be almost resolved by the high-rise camera. So I would like to know whether the object is of that size or maybe much smaller and surrounded by a cloud of dust, in which case it would be less exotic. But if it is of the order of tens of kilometers in diameter, then it's just completely anomalous, because it's 1 million times more massive than the previous two interstellar objects, Oumuamua and Borisov. And there is not enough rocky material in interstellar space per unit volume to deliver such a giant rock to the neighborhood of Earth within the last decade. So I would find it extremely anomalous if it ends up being that big. And the high-rise could tell us. There are also some instruments that the European Space Agency can use, the Chinese can use near Mars. And then on March 16th, 2026, 3i Atlas is supposed to pass relatively close to within 50 million kilometers from Jupiter. And then I propose to use the Juno spacecraft there to come close to it. And Congresswoman Luna supported that in a letter to the administrator of NASA, the interim administrator.
I think you can do it after Matt's live finishes. Are you okay, Matt? Looking a little down. Am I? Looking a little down? I don't know. I just can't always be energetic and lively and stuff, can I? Sometimes I've got to be a bit quiet. But the thing is, this is for people to recap on, so I don't want to be just talking over this one all the time, because people don't know about the 3i Atlas, so they can come and watch it at a later date, and they can watch it without me taking the piss out of everybody, which I'll probably go on TikTok live for an hour anyway after I've done this. When I've just shown a couple of videos that I want to do, and be a bit more of a dick on there. They're a dick with me, so I'll be a dick on their platform. But does anybody want to be a moderator, by the way? I need more moderators. Doris, do you want to be a mod? My moderators are like Stephen, you're doing well. Melissa's slacking. I don't know what Melissa's doing. I don't even hear from her. Needs to be commenting, people. Just checking, my friend. No, I appreciate it. I always check in on people. I agree. And if there was something wrong, I'd be honest with you, I probably wouldn't tell you. But sometimes it's nice to be asked, isn't it?
The Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, and she encouraged NASA to use all resources to probe 3i Atlas, and I very much am grateful for her visionary letter. So my hope is that in the coming month, we will learn much more as 3i Atlas gets closer to the sun. It will be illuminated.
You want to do it, Maz? Let me see if I can sort you out in a sec.
It will get brighter since it will reflect more sunlight. At the same time, if it's a comet, it will probably erupt and generate a lot of dust and gas that will tell us that it's a comet. But if it doesn't do so, and for example, if it maneuvers on October 29th, when it comes closest to the sun, that's the perfect timing for a maneuver, the way that our spacecraft do when they come close to the sun. Then I think the stock market may crash. I already received the text message from a fan that, and by the way, my essays on medium.com, you can find them by looking for Avi Loeb at medium.com. I put one every day or a few days. My essays were read by more than 1 million people over the past month, which is quite remarkable. It's there is a huge audience for this subject, and one of the readers wrote to me a text message saying that he is trading options on the volatility of the.
Kyle's not in either. Like, I don't know where Kyle is. Kyle's usually in. But I haven't gone to TikTok that much. I got bored of telling him to come over here. So tonight I've not done that. Usually I do that. We don't do good enough job, Melissa. You do, Stephen. You're the first one in it every single week. But like, if you're in it, comment. Like, do you think? Do you shit? I'll sack you. I'll fucking sack you like Alan Sugar sacks people. Listen, the more I rise, the more you rise. Say I get big and make money from this, like serious money. Yous are the people that'll get some fucking funding from that. I don't forget people. I bring people up the same way as I help people. I would do it, but would only be good for your channel, as I'd be blocking anyone that says one thing out of line. Well, I try not to give the access of blocking people, because you might get a daft cunt that just wants to block everyone anyway. So it's mainly you can mute them and stuff like that. But yeah.
Stock market with an expiration date of October 29th. I also received an email from a former pilot in the USA Air Force who told me.
You're a little quiet, Matt. So something's going on in there. So obviously something. Maybe I'm just quiet and tired. I don't know. I've not been sleeping that much. I've been working, no sleep, working, having like 4 hours fucking sleep a night, if that. There's not much to say on this. I'm just giving it a few. And the engagement's not that thing. So if you're not giving me anything, you're not feeding me anything, I can't just be a stand-up comic all night, I'm afraid. Whereas I will be on TikTok probably after this live, and I'll probably be a bit more livelier. Probably give people some shit, but I want to try and treat YouTube a bit more professional. Slightly.
He basically said that in the title of his message, he said, "Because of you!" Exclamation mark. And what he meant to say is that because of me, his daughter is now in.
What do you do for work? Just call it office. Just office stuff, yeah. Nothing special.
Interested in becoming a scientist, and she keeps talking about aliens, and that's to me the biggest compliment. If I can encourage young kids to become scientists and to
yes, I need to show you something, Matt. Go on Tiki later. Is it your house again? Because I said I've already met your son apparently when I was drunk, so I'll meet him again.
study the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence, I would feel very satisfied with what I'm doing. And then finally, yesterday I got a message from a car racer in NASCAR who says, I want to put your image and the image of 3i Atlas on the hood of my car because you are now a hot commodity among NASCAR car racers. I've never watched NASCAR, but
Avi, and
just says the same shit on every fucking live, doesn't it? We've spoken to him ourselves. It's on my YouTube. It's the same thing. He sits there. He says the same fucking dribble on this. He's another boring cunt as well. I'll be honest with you, boring cunt.
In that case, you don't have to
pay attention to this though. Yeah, that's all you've got to pay attention to in this video. So, the slow disclosure movement. And what is this guy? Academic acceptance.
Worry about, receiving or
pay attention, people.
Or not receiving a Nobel Prize. If your image will be in a NASCAR race for your work, I think probably no other scientist could claim that honor. So, you just said something which I find very interesting is that you would be very happy, very satisfied to know that you inspired kids today to become scientists, driven or motivated by the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Do you think he could have picked glasses that were any bigger? Is he trying to be Harry Hill? Yeah, Harry Hill. That's what he reminds me of, Harry Hill. Yeah.
Intelligence, and that leads me to something I want to talk to you about, which is that as a humanities and social science person who doesn't understand science with the fineness that a scientist does, I often look at you and scientists looking for traits that I understand better, both in your work and your person. And one thing I see with you is you have an abundance of imagination. I mean, imagination in the rigorous sense, intellectual imagination about what science should be. And I think that one of the problems with academia and the sciences today is that we have the wrong kind of imagination. We have old imagination. As you said, quantum physics is now 100 years old, and no one should be, or the discovery of it is.
And we still don't understand it, by the way. We still don't have the correct interpretation. So nobody ordered quantum mechanics, and Einstein had an issue with that. And we just need to.
You're right. He just needs his collar up, and he's like, "Yeah." And do people know who Harry Hill is? By the way, in the comments, do you know who he is? Do you want me to show you in an image? Let's have a quick runabout. Let me know. I'm gonna find it anyway. Look, that's him. Yeah. So heavy. Yeah. That's what he does.
To understand that nature is more imaginative than we are. And, what aliens may look like.
Why does Avi Loeb always look like he's trying to like do a gynecology exam and he's trying to get a proper good look inside? Look. He's like, yeah, so we, that's what he does every fucking interview.
Or what extraterrestrial technologies may look like.
How bright's the light in front of his face? So he looks down, his eyes are normal, he looks up, he's like,
exceed what we see in scripts of Hollywood producers or directors. Our imagination is limited by what we witnessed.
Good evening, it's Tick Collector from TikTok. Hope everybody's good. We're all really miserable. I'm a miserable bastard today, apparently. I can't. Everything's wrong with me. How would you know that's the face they have? Well, let's just say I've had a look at a lot of love purses, and that's how we look at them. There's some of them are like little purses, and some of them that are like fucking chopped up kebabs. They're horrible to look at. They really are. They're horrible to look at, aren't they? There's nothing pretty about these axe wounds. Nothing pretty about them at all.
Here on Earth, and meeting another, a visitor from another star is like a blind date of interstellar proportions. And my advice to young people that go on blind dates is observe the other side before you speak. Don't assume that you know the other side in advance. Don't brag.
Hey, I never said that. Listen, obviously I like it, but they're not. No, stop. I need to burp.
You know, we sent out the golden record that, is a very proud statement about the music of the 60s and the kind of things that we feel that humanity should be proud of. You know, that's really very arrogant of us, because even now I don't find the music from the 60s as very appealing. I would argue that we should be more modest, just look out and learn from what we see rather than try to tell the universe that we are at the center of it or that we are the smartest that ever existed. It's very unlikely. When Elon Musk said that, we are probably alone, that's why we should go to Mars. I would argue that it's very unlikely.
I would argue that he's just a human being, you're just a human being, and we absolutely have no idea of anything. Our primitive human scientists know absolutely fuck all, and they try and change the narrative and just keep the narrative at the fact that we are nothing special and that there's nothing special going on at all, because that's all you can understand in your stupid, primitive, scientific understanding.
Likely that Elon Musk was the most accomplished space entrepreneur since the Big Bang, 13.8 billion years ago. That there must be a lot of more successful space explorers that existed billions of years ago, simply for a very simple reason, that there are billions of Earth-Sun analogs in the Milky Way galaxy alone. And, there must have been things like us in some of those, and they...
Fucking hell, Narina's commented facts on what? Facts on what? Have I said something? Has he said something? I don't know.
Existed billions of years ago. So just like most humans, more than 1 billion people lived on this earth, 100 billion people lived on this earth, and just 8 billion are living right now. Most of them are dead. The answer to Fermi's question in that case is, where is everybody? Well, most of them are dead. Most of the people that ever lived on Earth are dead. It's quite possible that most of the civilizations that ever existed are dead by now, because they existed billions of years ago. Now, when the SETI community is searching...
No fucking shit. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a fucking rocket scientist to know that most of the people that have ever lived are dead. What the fuck? Are you trying to play us all for fools?
For radio signals.
There's a delay. I was responding to what you said about us not being able to truly know. We can't know. I'm 100% right. I'm right there. We are primitive human beings with our primitive scientific understanding. We've not even touched space. Well, not with our technology anyway. We might have done with some other technology. But 100% we have not touched anywhere near, and we're trying to understand something we've never fucking been there. We don't even know what's at what was that percentage? It shocks me actually. I think it's like 90% of the sharks. We're not even discovered 90% of a shark species or something like that. That's insane. That's fucking insane. That there's 90% of the shark species we don't know exist at this moment in time. And there's areas in the world we haven't explored, and we think that we know these. And don't get me wrong, Avi's right. This could be a fucking probe that's coming here to fucking finger us. And I'm all for it. I'll hold my hand up. I'll take one for the team. As long as it shows alien life and they're going to save us. I'll do it. I'll take it. I'll end up not being able to sit on stools ever again. I do not care. I'll take it for the team. But when these scientists come out and say, this is not, we have to follow these textbooks, it's absolute bullshit. It's bullshit. Remember Einstein once said that the universe was static and stationary. How stupid is that now?
signals. It's just like it says, oh, let's check who is alive right now that we can receive messages from. But suppose, that there is only...
Where the fuck did you get that shark fact? Right, you're calling me out, aren't you? Fucking calling me out, you little bastard. Right, shark species 90%. I'll just put that in. 90% not known. Let me have a look. Scientists say 90% of shark breeds are unknown. There you go. That was 2 months ago. %90 of shark breeds unknown. There, look. Scientists say 90% of shark breeds unknown. Scientists say 90% of shark breeds unknown. This is 2 months ago, so this is fairly new. And I was quite shocked at that, to be fair to you. That was news to me. Just as it's probably shocked you, and you thought Matt's had one too many beers there to be saying shit like that. But no, it's apparently 90% of shark breeds are unknown. So, Narina, when you're ready, you can apologise. And you have to do it in Afrikaans. I'm so sorry.
A small minority of those civilizations that are still alive. And
fucking humbled you. I can't believe you went for me there. You proper went for me there. You went for my channel and everything. You've taken me down. It was from last year, Xmas Crackers. Stephen, I've just proven it to you. Don't make me block you for 2 minutes. Because I will.
But nevertheless, those that existed...
Why did you change your name anyway from Taz to Stephen UFOs? I like Taz. In fact, I should be able to name all my mods. I would name you Gizmo, Stephen. Narina, I would name you Zulu. Melissa, I'd name you Milf. I don't know.
Billions of years ago sent functioning devices, probes to other places, self-replicating probes maybe. We might find their packages, the things that they sent in the mail, rather than...
Calm down, Ava. Calm down now. Right, we're going to watch a bit of this in a minute, because I need to go and drain the vein. So let's put this on a minute. And this part is rituals and symbols. So Jesse Michaels has done a video on NASA, because NASA now is an intelligence agency, apparently, right? Palestine is a state, according to Keir Starmer today. We're recognising Palestine as a state. And me, for one, has always recognised Palestine as a state. It's in a right fucking state. That's what it's in. So we're going to watch this.
Of space. The coordinates 33 degrees are hard to ignore, especially given the prominence of that number in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. There are a few Scottish Rite Masons you might have heard of, and those that were awarded the highest honor of becoming a 33rd degree. This includes the first American to orbit the Earth, John Glenn, as well as the President, Harry Truman, and another astronaut we've already discussed, Buzz Aldrin. James Webb, NASA Administrator, Scottish Rite Mason. Kenneth Kleinecht, Director of Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo, also a Scottish Rite Mason. We've also got Leroy Gordon Cooper Jr., who flew on the Mercury and Gemini programs. And then you have Walter Schurra Jr. and Don Eisel, who flew on Apollo 7, as well as Virgil Grissom, who flew on the Mercury program but sadly passed away in the training capsule fire for the first Apollo mission. Thomas Patton Stafford flew Apollo 10, all Freemasons. Later, on Apollo 15, the 8th person to walk on the moon was also a Mason, James Irwin. And another man we've already mentioned earlier, Edgar Mitchell, who spent more than 9 hours walking on the moon's surface on Apollo 14, Freemason. So by the mid-1960s, the structure of NASA, and I mean the actual power structure, was a strange cocktail of former SS officers, Freemasons, and occultists. And then there's the Teos Cave story.
You know where I do want to go, though? You know, there are all the conspiracies that the moon landing was faked, and then there's the UFO conspiracy that Neil Armstrong saw, like, UFOs on the moon or whatever. I'm not proposing that. I don't necessarily think that that's true. But the one possibly kind of funny piece of additional evidence would be that the second expedition Neil Armstrong did was in 1975, and it was to a cave in Ecuador at the edge of the Amazon, and it was called the Teos Cave. and it was supposed to contain ancient alien metallic artifacts. And so clearly, Neil Armstrong believed enough in the possibility of that thing to like go into the Amazon and risk his life and try to look for it. And a BBC documentary crew followed him in there.
I said, what was a silly name? Taz, did I? I was lying and probably drunk. I like Taz. It's a good name.
What we've seen throughout this video is that there's something more than a sterile materialist view of reality behind the engineering and physics of space exploration. There seems to be a kind of ritual element to it. And one of the clearest signs that NASA wasn't just about nuts and bolts science is something hiding in plain sight: the mission patches. Take the official Apollo program.
Symbolisms now and stuff like that on these. And I think symbolism is a big player in occults and keeping things secret and secret messages and stuff like that. I spent so many fucking nights researching symbols and occults over the decades. It led me down some right rabbit holes, but let's see what Jesse comes up with here.
At first glance, it's simple: the Earth, the Moon, a path connecting them, and a large letter A. But look again. Behind the A is the constellation Orion, and the crossbar of the A is deliberately aligned with Orion's belt. The three stars, Mintaka, Alnilam, and Alnitak. In Greek myth, Orion is the hunter, but to the ancient Egyptians, those three stars were Osiris, god of the afterlife, death, and resurrection. And in the patch, they're outlined in blue, given special emphasis. Strange, right? Especially for a mission named after Apollo, the Greek god of the sun. Why name the mission after one deity, but center its symbolism around an entirely different pantheon? And which pantheon are we talking about here? Was the big A...
Hi, sorry I'm late. You're not late. Just going over a few bits. Like, the live's not going to be on much longer, but I'm going to go live on TikTok, so if people have missed me, they can go. I'm going to go on TikTok and cause some mayhem. See if I can fuck up anybody's lives. That's what I plan on doing.
For Apollo, or for Asar, the Egyptian name for Osiris. In Egyptian myth, Osiris is murdered by his brother Set and resurrected by his wife Isis and their son Horus, who then defeats Set and restores cosmic order.
I need to do a video. I'm going to upload the Michael Schratt interview we did. Tomorrow on my YouTube channel. That'll be up, the full interview of that. That was live on TikTok if you missed it. And I'm going to do a video on the Egyptian stuff, the UFO that's been found under them, stuff like that. I have been researching it in the background. I've just not spoken it yet. It won't be a TikTok video. It'll be a YouTube video. It'll have to be a longer form content video. That.
A myth of death, rebirth, and celestial destiny, written into the sky.
Tets, are you male or female? Thank you for joining, Aidan McLaughlin. Yeah, thank you for joining. Why is Aidan going? I have to go. See you all again, and thanks for this tonight, Matt. You're welcome. Tets, are you male or female? Steaming you on mics. Streaming me on mics. You're streaming me on Mike's TikTok. Let me get that right. You are all getting sued. Every single one of you. This is my stream and you've stolen it and you're streaming it. I'm suing every one of you. I'm taking everything. I'm taking your milk, your bread, everything from you. I'm coming from you. You might as well play it all now, but I'm coming for you. I'm male but only do YouTube. Well, because you're male, you're a daft twat and you need to come here on time. Okay? You missed it now. You have to rewatch it, aren't you? And make sure you watch every advert to the full as a punishment.
NASA's primary launch pad at White Sands, where von Braun ran early tests, was Launch Pad
The advert
33.
shouldn't have been that bad today because I put it on medium. I didn't know I could do that. So people should notice there's a difference tonight.
Same thing at Kennedy Space Center. There's only one runway, and it isn't runway 1 or A, it's runway 33. Even key mission planners had surprising backgrounds. Farouk El-Baz, who oversaw lunar science planning and helped select Apollo landing sites, was nicknamed the King by the astronauts. His father was a scholar of Egyptian religion. And of course, NASA was never shy about a little syncretism. They would mix and mash and pay homage to all sorts of ancient traditions. Juno, the Roman queen of the gods, lent her name to one of the earliest launch vehicles. Mercury, the Roman messenger god, was chosen for the first human spaceflight program. Then came Gemini, the zodiac twins. And finally, Apollo, the Greek sun god of light, knowledge, and rebirth. One of the most intriguing aspects of the whole story is how the symbolism doesn't stop at names or patches. It carries into the actual timing of the launches themselves. Back in 1936, while Jack Parsons was still testing rockets in the Arroyo Seco, his team managed their first successful liquid fuel test. NASA's primary launch pad at White Sands, where Von Braun ran early tests, was Launch Pad 33.
Oh, goodness, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
Melissa is over there watching me on Mike's live, streaming mine, when she's supposed to be moderating on my channel. And they've just asked what I said, so there's obviously a delay. So I'm going to be open and honest. I'm like, you are all TWATS. You should all be in here. Let's see what they get when it comes to it. It's a massive delay in it.
On Halloween night. That date, October 31st, was originally Samhain, a pagan festival marking the midpoint between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. Over 20 years later, Explorer 1, the first US satellite built by JPL, was launched on January 31st, 1958. That day is known in the Christian calendar as Candlemas, but in the pagan tradition as Imbolc. The odds of the US space program being bookended by Samhain and Candlemas, two cross-quarter days with deep ritual significance in European pagan tradition, are striking. Even if not consciously planned by the engineers, the timing seems to follow an occult template. Samhain as a symbolic gateway, and Candlemas as a moment of rebirth. Together, they frame the dawn of American spaceflight. But we're just getting started. This alignment with sacred dates was not a one.
I'm doing it. I am. I am. No. I am here. I am here, though. I am in there. Look at the comments. I'm here.
I don't play games. I don't play games.
I'm in both places. I'm multidimensional. I'm a hybrid.
No. Jilly, I'm not getting jealous. I'm not getting jealous. What it is, she can't hear me, but she will hear me eventually, people. So what it is, Jilly, it's loyalty. You come over here. Flying Mike, you're not getting away with this either.
I want you guys to hear what he's talking about because it's really good information. Let me share.
off. During the Apollo era, launch
Yeah, this
planners
is the live
sometimes
album on
chose
YouTube.
dates that
And I'll
aligned with
just cancel
celestial
my,
or symbolic
live
turning
here.
points. One of the clearest examples was Apollo 8, the first crewed orbit of the moon. It launched on December 21st, 1968, the winter solstice, the day the sun is symbolically reborn after.
I think there's a link to the community Discord now. Is there a link to the community? We can get you the community Discord. I don't know if Narina, Melissa, if you're listening, or if you're too busy on TikTok, Melissa, you know, too busy. Narina, have you got my Discord link that you can share out, darling?
The longest night of the year. Apollo 8 marked the first time humans left Earth's gravitational field. And from lunar orbit, the crew delivered the famous Genesis reading on Christmas Eve.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Here now, yeah, you've come here with your pants down, haven't you, Michael? How dare you? How dare you? I don't have the link now. If anybody's got the Discord link, please share it. You know what that looked like then? That looked like that image we had. 1 minute.
Humans left Earth's gravitational field,
picture
and
where
from
the-
lunar orbit,
the
the
UFO
crew delivered the famous
like a
Genesis
little piece
reading on Christmas Eve.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
No, it's not.
And the earth was without form and void.
I'm going to make a prediction now. This is going to be sharp, it's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be precise, and it's going to be seconds, and I'm not going to mention it ever again, but you can come back to this video and refer to it on the 21st of September 2025. Before the 25th of December this year, Russia are going to go into the grey zone, and they're going to end up doing something which is going to start Article 5 NATO, and it's probably going to be Poland. World War III by Christmas 2025. Remember it, 21st of the September night 2025. Come and see this video.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness.
But was it just convenient scheduling?
Flying text. Love your wee picture. Can everybody please not speak to Michael for at least 25 minutes? We're not friends with Michael at the minute, remember? Thank you.
Or was some deeper archetypal pattern playing out? A subconscious script of death and resurrection? I'm going to give a...
I have a recording of a UFO going into one of these holes. What? I have a recording of a UFO going into one of those holes. Oh, I've seen the thing. I've seen what you're speaking about. If it's the same one, I've seen that video. Reminds me to let you rock me to sleep, Matt. Oh, say that again. What do you want me to do?
Little warning here. What I'm going to lay out next is highly speculative. I'm not saying I definitely believe it, and it might sound a little bit out there. Let's take Apollo 11 as an example. Launched on July 16th, 1969, it coincided with the 24th anniversary of the Trinity atomic test, the dawn of the nuclear age. But the moon landing itself on July 20th happened under the astrological sign of Aquarius, symbol of the water bearer and bringer of knowledge. Aquarius is often linked with enlightenment and radical change, and it's tempting to think that the moon...
I'm only winding you up. But if you ever stream my shit when you should be here, conversing, joining us, being part of the fucking live, I'm going to get a fucking voodoo doll, and I'm going to do things to your knees and stuff like that. I'm going to stick pins in the voodoo doll. That's what I'm going to do.
Moon landing, timed as it was, might have been more than a technological milestone. It could have been seen as a ritual passage into a new cosmic age, the so-called Age of Aquarius.
Melissa, you was like my first moderator. You should be in here. You should be... To be fair to Steve, he's in here all the time, first in. Melissa's like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I was in like 50 other different fucking lives that weren't really important at this moment in time. You know your job, you do your job. I don't ask for much. You just come in chat. You can multitask, but don't ever fucking stream my live while I'm live. That's just cheeky. I might as well then have been bent over and I don't know, but someone fingering me. Absolute bad boys, bad girls. That's what you are. Bad people. Thought you were my friends.
Yes. Remember, Aldrin poured wine into a silver.
One day you will have your own YouTube channel, and you might want my help on that platform as well as TikTok channel. Remember this, guys. Remember the help. Support me. I always support you back. If you finger me,
chalice during his private communion ceremony on the moon. Humanity.
It's 6 a.m. on his time here, mate. I'm sorry. Well, Polarity will be up soon, won't it? Polarity does the live and stuff like that. Me and Polarity still need to do a collab, by the way. So I'm sure you watch Polarity. You need to message him and say, "Oh, up." Message him, super chat it, and put UFOs around the world knows far more UFO stuff than you. How have you not got him on it talking with you? For a laugh. It's true though, but definitely pay $1.99 to put that
in a sense, poured itself into another world.
We are friends, by
What's especially fascinating is that these symbolic alignments haven't gone away. They've continued into the 21st century. In a presentation, former CIA officer John Ramirez described one particular case, the 2005 launch of NROL-16. The mission patch was strange. It showed a pelican.
Had a chat. It's me talking and him going. To be fair to Polarity though, he's looking at the good people, like the Bill Coopers, the Wendell Stevens, all the stuff you've been open to anyway on my channel. He's doing good things talking about these people. You don't see many people talking about these people because it's dangerous for your platform. And you've got to remember, he's monetized. He's not monetized. It's his job. This is his full-time thing, Polarity. So he's taking a risk with what he's sharing because he could get demonetized. I think he has got demonetized on one of his videos and stuff like that. So Polarity knows the esoteric more so than anything. Okay.
A sun, several pentagrams.
Then we'll have to have that chat, won't we? And we'll see. Best way to deal with it is to have a chat with people. But I think me and him would have a really fun chat, proper deep. Be like, yeah, we'll talk for an hour. 5 hours later, we're both pissed up, slunched over our microphones, going, yeah, but just balls deep. That's it.
A silhouette of Bigfoot in palm trees. Ramirez said that the pelican caught his attention because it matched the aviary codename of CIA scientist Ron Pandolfi.
Casper Site's another one as well. I want to be on. I want to go on Casper Sites. I've messaged him. Speak to Casper Site. Let's get me on Casper Site. Forget about your ghost videos. Get me on. Let's talk about serious shit on your platform that can get some views.
Pandolfi has been a mysterious figure, long tied to the UFO topic. He has worked on exotic physics, was connected to the Jasons and MITRE Corporation, and was part of the CIA's Office of...
No, Polarity is a good researcher, Polarity. That's what I'm saying to it. I think I know more than him. It's my opinion. There's not many people, I don't think, that know more than me. That's just my opinion on it. But he's looking at the good stuff. The stuff he's looking at, I already know about. But his followers won't. So, yeah, he's 100% looking at the good stuff. The stuff that's leading him to the truth and leading him to even deeper rabbit holes, really deeper rabbit holes. You can see it. You can see it in every video. I don't get time to watch all these videos, obviously. I'm doing my own social media. That's the thing. When you do your own social media channels, you don't get time to watch these other fucking social media people do the job and that. Polarity is one that I do sometimes. If I'm in work, I'll say that again. Sometimes when I'm free, I will look at Polarity's stuff. And yeah, I enjoy his lives because a lot of the stuff he talks about I'm clued up on. And I know it's going to be a good live because he's talking about a certain person. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's credible. What he's talking about is credible things here.
Scientific and weapons research. A lot of people say that Pandolfi works the CIA's Weird Desk. According to Ramirez, Pandolfi was directly involved in this NROL-16 launch. The launch itself happened on 12:50 a.m. on April 30th, 2005. This happens to be the same day of Walpurgisnacht, the traditional pagan holiday tied to the idea of gates opening between worlds. The vehicle carried a payload named Prometheus, launched on a Titan IV rocket, and headed northeast towards the constellation of the Big Dipper. This alignment has uncanny parallels to a ritual described in the 1977 grimoire known as the Necronomicon. According to the text, the best time to perform the ceremony of walking, a kind of spiritual journey to the stars, is when the Great Bear hangs by its tail in the sky. The ritual is said to work best around midnight, facing north.
Is there a reason you want to join the Discord, Glasgow? Is there something you want to share, something you want to talk about, something you're interested in? Just making sure you're not a troll, really. That Discord is my baby. But if you want the link, give me a second. Right, it is. Let me go to. How do I share this here? To my YouTube. I watch YouTube from 8 PM until 2 AM, then get up at 7 AM. I'm pretty similar, not similar as the time thing, like it's a bit sporadic, but it is consumed my life. It consumes my life far too much, more than I like, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not happy about the amount of time that
I know it's rough out there for marketers. We're talking fewer resources, faster timelines, but that's why I'm inviting you to register for Pinterest Presents, where you'll uncover top secret
chat for you, so you got the Discord link. There's the Discord link, and what I'll do is I'll pin it.
North, with specific emphasis on the northeast, the direction the Big Dipper rises.
Love that hat, Mate. Do I suit the beanie hat, by the way? Do I rock the beanie hat? I rarely wear the beanie hat, but don't know.
The number 5 is the sacred, and the launch occurs.
Just don't be a dick if you join the Discord, because you get fucking booted straight away. I think Melissa's an admin. I need more admins and moderators in there. I want that to be booming. If people want to take that Discord by the scruff of the neck and promote it and do things with it, right, just reach out to me. You can take control of it, like, and just do whatever you want. Because it's like I say, I dip in and out of there. But if you think you can make that a better Discord, reach out to me. And you've got talent with Discord, do it. Let's get people. Let's get you on. Let's get you on board.
At 050, 5 years into the millennium.
I think Melissa's flirting with me again.
On a patch covered in 5 pentagrams.
I couldn't. You could. You have. You are.
Some researchers, like Peter Lavenda, have suggested that figures close to these launches encouraged people like Tom DeLonge to study Greek mythology.
I'll do a video on Tom DeLonge. So, I'll do a video on Tom DeLonge, do a video on the Egypt stuff, I'll do breakdown videos. If you like polarity, and you like what he's doing, I'll do exactly the same thing, but probably different people. Probably cover the same people that he's done, but in a different time. Just so it freshens it up a bit. I don't like to step on other people's toes, even though we're on the same fucking niche anyway. But yeah, you'll see a difference. It's just the editing and getting time to do the videos. But other than that, do it. Looking forward to Jesh's new vid you are watching. But my God, that vid of the guy talking about the tall whites was hard work. Gave up after 30 minutes. That's the Charles Hall. Yeah, Charles Hall. I'm going to upload the Michael Schratt interview tomorrow or tonight, depending on when I get off the live, for my YouTube. I recommend people watch that. It's like a what's it called? When you've got a bullet point thing. What's it called? A presentation. It's presentation, and then we've got a part 2 coming up. And I actually really like that, Michael, even though it just seemed like to go on, and it was just him talking. Like, I did enjoy it. I think he's passionate. I don't think he's trying to lead anyone down the wrong path. You can tell that when we did ask him questions, he was saying these people need to be coming testifying, so he's wanting the same thing we're wanting. He's just a guy that's done research, and he's just a guy that puts it into books, and he's really good at his drawings and putting into images. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Really nice as well. Found him really polite. No issues. Didn't feel awkward speaking to him. Yeah, nice guy. All the small things. Me too. Lolly flowed his hair back.
Especially the story of Prometheus, to better understand the UFO phenomena. That name, of course, matched the payload on the NROL-16. After the launch, the remaining Titan IV rockets were
The only difference between me and this guy here is he's got the money to go and do the travelling. That is it. That is purely it. If someone funded me to go and do the travelling, I would be a lot more entertaining than Jesse Michaels. But sadly, I can't do that. So Jesse Michaels is taking the throne for now. But to be fair, he's one of the people I do actually sit down and watch and enjoy. Him, Y-Files, Area 52. I'd probably say him, Y-Files, and Area 52 are the people I watch the most. Stuff like that. And I'd probably say out of all them 3, I'd say AJ is a good researcher, and Jess is the best on the ground researcher, and Area 52 Chris Rams is the most entertaining watch with the way he sets his podcast up and stuff like that. So they've all got their own individuality things. Like Jesse will fucking talk in a garage. It doesn't matter. He goes there and he puts a microphone there and he talks to random people. Where Area 52 is attention to detail in his videos. It's really it's really good the way he puts his attention to detail on his channel. And Y-Files again puts his attention to detail in his research, but he's not the boots on the ground. He's not doing the boots on the ground. He's doing it all from like his home and stuff like that. But he's going to be doing interviews and stuff like that. He's going to be interviewing people, so that's going to be interesting to see him interviewing people.
Tired.
There won't be a shortage of people wanting to go and speak to him or to tell their story to him because of his platform.
One went to the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The other went to McMinnville, Oregon, the site of one of the most famous UFO.
Why have you stopped the Twitter spaces? Is it not your vibe or becoming too toxic? The thing is, it's toxic, right? And the thing is, Glasgow, it doesn't take much for me to snap. Like, it doesn't take much for me to get angry. Like, I'm a really nice guy. But people can see straight away there's a different side to me. There's a snap side to me. X brings that side out to me. Argue. People wouldn't like me on there. I'd be a nasty, fucking horrible piece of shit on there. I like what TikTok see, which is the nice side. I ain't got time for these because a lot of these people, they won't get in front of the camera. They hide behind the fucking comments. They create fake profiles. I had one guy the other day called UFOlogist, and I called him out. I said, "I think you Chris something," and it's in my DMs. You better get that name because I'd found out who it was. I just worked it out from he's following me, I'm following him, and the terminology from that profile. So that profile is exactly the same. I called the name out of it. It's not hard. I can put my research into anything, not just UFOs.
UFO photographs ever taken in 1950. All slightly schizo coincidences? Maybe. But Lavenda has said that he's personally received letters from inside the US military praising the Necronomicon for being quote-unquote spot on, including some from officers in Strategic Air Command. For years, his book was even a bestseller at Fort Benning.
In just a few minutes, we're going to be my annual surge of close to 400,000 vacationers.
Then there's the symbolism of the Big Dipper itself. In Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the first UFOs to appear above Devil's Tower form the shape of the Dipper in the sky. Jacques Vallée noted that Betty Hill's abduction story also began with her seeing one too many stars in the Dipper. Even Navy pilot Ryan Graves, who's very humble and
I'm going to leave the live here. I'm going to go live on TikTok, I think. Do you want to go live on TikTok? Or do you want to call it a night and just drink my beers in peace and just like go and have a little, I don't know, play? I think Luke, I've just seen Luke and Shiver alive on TikTok. If you might not need me on. Let me know what you're doing, folks. I can go live. If you want me to go live, I can go live. Got Discord now. Well done. Oh, yeah, I got to show you something. Okay. That'd be interesting. Better not be shit. I'll say shit, you know that. Right, I'm going.